YouTube, how's it going? NateGreat321 back again with an update to my MAME cabinet, but I guess I can't strictly call it that anymore because what I did was I added another emulator onto there. As you know, emulators exist for almost any system you can think of. MAME is specifically made for arcade games, and there still are some arcade games that MAME can't really do that well or can't do at all. And what I did is I added a different arcade emulation system onto there. It's really unique and it's got some really cool features I think you guys might be interested in. So, what it's called is Daphne, and what that does is it emulates Laserdisc games from the early to mid 80s. Now, if you're not familiar with those, some that might ring a bell would be Dragon's Lair. I have its sequel as well, Dragon's Lair 2. Space Ace is a popular one. Thayer's Quest, I mean, there's about only 17 or so that the emulator actually supports, but I think there's probably more than that. If you think of a lot of the early Sega CD games and 3DO games, the gameplay is usually pretty similar to that, where it's a movie that's played, and basically all you do is, pick a direction or press an action button at the right time, which changes the video. So it's really just an interactive movie, which by today's gameplay standards really might not be too interesting. But the reason I like it is because the artwork is really, really amazing. And if you think about it, at the time, I mean, these games were leaps and bounds over everything. I mean, if you walk into a game center or something, arcade, and you see, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and then you see a fully animated game like Dragon's Lair, I mean, that's really going to catch your eye. And these games at the time were, I believe, the first game, Dragon's Lair, to be 50 cents. Most games were 25 cents up to then. So, I mean, there were lines at the door for people to pay twice as much as they'd normally pay just to basically watch a movie. Interactive, sort of. But for the time, it's really unique. It's really nostalgic. I mean, it's pure 80s. It's just looking at it, everything about it, the animation style, it's just really cool. So, the unique thing about Daphne, though, and why I picked up these two DVDs, are that Daphne, the team behind that emulator, have actually partnered with the copyright holders for Dragon's Lair, which is Digital Leisure. So there are 4 games available that you can legally get working on this emulator. So it's not sneaky, you're not illegally downloading ROMs and things like that. I mean, these are legal copies that you can get working on your emulator. Space Ace and Thayer's Quest are the 2 others that are available legally through Daphne. And so that's what I did. I got these DVDs off Amazon. I think Dragon's Lair 1 was about 15 bucks and the second one was like 5. So 20 bucks total. And got them loaded onto the emulator. And it doesn't take the actual information off this DVD, although I believe this is arcade perfect just about. It basically just a key that lets you download it, you know what I mean? So it just verifies that you have a legal copy, and then you get the files so you can run the real arcade version. So I'll stop the video and load up the machine here, and I'll show you that going. Alright guys, I currently don't have these working through my front end. Just some kind of configuration issue I have to do with that. So I'm just going to load it through Windows. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up Dragon's Lair. If I have time, I'll do the second one. But I think the first one's a little more iconic, more nostalgic. The second one actually came out in like 1991, so way after these things were popular. The original drawings and production were done in like 83, but then the video game crash happened and it got pushed off to like 91, 92. So not many people know about that one. But the first one, a lot of people know about. I mean, if you say Laserdisc game to a gamer, most likely this is the game they're going to think of, Dragon's Lair. So I'll load it up, I'll let it run through its little track mode, and just keep in mind, imagine seeing this in like 1983. You're used to seeing Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, sprite games that are, imagine that, and then imagine seeing this when you walk into an arcade. So I'll load it up really quick. Let's see. And I'll do a little gameplay for you too. It's going to run. The only bad thing about these is that it does take a little while to load up, but again, that is true to the arcade system. If you were to have an actual Dragon's Lair machine and turn it on, power it on, it would run through this little menu. You can see I got a score up top, on the top left, lives right under that, credits in the middle. See, it's going through a bunch of just random menus. Now I'll let the attract mode go, and you guys watch that.
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the...
It does that every time you start it up, but I'm pretty sure that's normal, even for the actual arcade machine.
Adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer finding his way through the castle of a dark wizard who has enchanted it with treacherous monsters and obstacles. In the mysterious caverns below the castle, your odyssey continues against the awesome forces that oppose your efforts to reach the dragon's lair. Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.
Alright, so let's put a coin in and start this thing up. And now I'm playing, so... all it is the directional buttons and one action button. That's just timing it right, so... see, I've already died. Never done that one before. Done this one, so... oh, jeez, did it too late. I'm too distracted talking to you guys. This will be a quick gameplay. See, when it lights up, you just press the direction, so it's all reflex. You get points for every right move. I pressed up there. You have to keep doing that for this level. And the next one, you're gonna go like left and right and left and right. So I just went right, and it goes to that. See, on the original machine, it's reading all this information off a laser disc that's in the actual machine. Did something wrong there. Oh, just got that. Yeah. And I think that's it. My last life, yep. So then it ends. So as you can see, this thing probably ate a lot of quarters back in the day, because it is a little difficult, but that was also kind of its problem, that once you play it enough, you kind of memorize the scenes. Turn that down a little. Alright, you memorize the scenes, and then there's not much challenge left to it. If you just know how to do everything, you can put in 50 cents and play this thing over, you know what I mean? So, that was kind of a bad move for the game as well. But, really iconic game. Really glad to have this on my cabinet. I wanted these from the start, and now I'm glad I got them. I just have to get them working on my front end. But let's see, I got my buttons working like pause. Pauses the game. I haven't tried service, but there you go. Alright. So yeah, I have a service button set up. But you probably don't need that for a digital version. Anyway, got escape set up on the side, reset on the other side like all my other games. So that's the update. I don't think I'll have time for the second one, but yeah, this is Lair 321. Sign out.